Hello everyone and welcome to the Pinecone Coder. Today in this tutorial we're going to be talking about what is HTML. We're going to write our first lines of code and let's get started. So HTML is the structure of our web pages, so the very core of what is written in them. Later we'll take CSS and kind of pretty it up what we've already written in our HTML. But HTML is just like the words, the images, but nothing like where is it on the page, all that kind of stuff. That's CSS. So HTML is also what gets sent to the browser so that the browser can display it to us when it looks like a website. So HTML is actually the code that the browser reads. All right, so what you are going to need to code HTML and get started with web design, you're going to need something to write code in. So just any text editor will work, like Notepad if you're on Windows, or TextEdit if you're on a Mac. All those will work perfectly fine, but it's really helpful to have like a code editor that will actually can show you if you have errors in your code. It can also help like autocomplete so that you can get things done faster. So we're just going to look at some of the code editors that you could get. Um, so let's just pull those up. So one of them is called, it's a really good just all-purpose code editor. It's called Visual Studio Code. I'm just pulling it up right here. You can just search it and it'll come up and you can just download this. Um, it works if you want to get into programming too. It's really great. There are a ton of extensions that can really customize it to get exactly what you want. I use it a lot when I do programming and stuff. And let's just look at some others. So there's also Notepad++, um, and it's really good. I personally don't like it because it doesn't have a dark theme. So yeah, but it's a really good one too that you could consider. There's another one, it's the one I'll be using during this course. It's called Sublime Text, and it's just very simple, basically just what you need to get the job done. So this is the site you can get it from, sublimetext.com, and you can just download that or feel free to use whatever code editor you want, but that is what we will be using in this course. So I've already downloaded that and installed it on my computer, so I am ready to go. So if you need to pause the video for a minute and get that done, that's perfectly fine. Alright, so now I want to show you something. Okay, one last thing on what you're going to need. You're also going to need a decent browser, so Chrome, Firefox, anything like that will work just fine. Okay, and now we're going to look at some HTML to kind of get an idea of what it is. So if we take this website right here, this isn't my website. I don't own it or anything, but this is just an example of a website that like you might be coding once you get into web design, you learn how to do it. So you can see there's some links here. This is a link. There's some links down here. Then we have a bunch of text and images too. Image up there, and then there's some buttons up here. And then if we scroll down, there's just like these posts in a line. And then at the bottom, there's like a Twitter button. So how would you actually create a site like this? So we're going to look at the code behind it right now. So if you're on Chrome or Firefox, what you can do is right click, and if you see this button right here called View Page Source, you can just click on that and it's going to pop up in a new tab the code for that site, and we can actually see how it's made and what it looks like. So this is going to look pretty crazy. Don't get scared. This isn't really, this is some pretty advanced stuff right here. But if we just scroll down, actually, so yeah, let's scroll down. You can see right here, you might be already noticing some things from the website. So if I just stick this on the side here, and let me just pull this up on this side, we can see things like, I'm a designer and web builder who works with my friends at Paravel. And now if you are looking in the HTML code right here, you can actually see that exact line of code. So that's what it looks like in the code. Also, we can see down here, so there's a bunch of different tags in HTML, and we'll be coding some in a minute. But you can see, for example, this is a h1 tag to make this text right here. Also, A tags. A tags stand for anchor, and they are links. So you can see here is the words, and here is the link that they actually go to. So here's that Twitter button right there, and this is the link it would actually go to if you clicked on it. And you can see all those in that menu. There they are. If we scroll down a little, you can see like in January we shipped, and if we see it, that's right here. Followed by a link, that A tag again, where with the link it goes to, and then you can see what is the words that are actually the link is listen on Spotify. So yeah. So that is just an example. One more thing you can do is actually when you're on the website, there's a tool that's built into Chrome called Inspect Element, and it basically does this in a bit of a more collapsed version, but it has some awesome tools to help you out if you are developing your site, looking for problems, stuff like that, want to try stuff. So what you can do is you can pick an element anywhere, like let's just say the word Paravel right here. Right click on that, and if you click inspect right here, you can also hit Command Shift I think, and this little box will pop up down here, and you can see here's some of the HTML code, but it's a lot more collapsed. So you can see like some of these are open, some are closed, but I could open up these down here to get to this menu. But you can see as I hover over each one, it shows me up above what I'm actually hovering over. So you can see like there is the div, the h1 tag that all those words are in. And I could actually adjust stuff in here. So I could change these words to be, I could delete something, and it would update up above. You can see that it's actually changed. I could change links. Now this won't change it permanently as soon as we refresh the page. It's just temporary to see what it would look like. We're not actually changing the original site. Over here we can see some of the CSS for what we've inspected, this words Paravel. So some of the things that would do CSS are like the font, the color, stuff like that. And what we can do is you can select color, and we can actually change that color. I don't know, black? Yeah. And now, whoops. Let's just change that color to black. Oh, it's not changing. Okay, I'll change it this way. So the code for black is 000 in hexadecimal. So I'll just do that right now. That's weird. Okay, it won't let me. Oh well. Anyway, this is where you could write stuff like that. So I could come in here and add my own lines of CSS to try things out. So I could go color, black. Yeah, it's not letting me for some reason. But anyway, you get the idea of what it does. So yeah, so let's go write our own code for a second. So what I want you to do is go to your desktop and just create a new folder and call it whatever you want. I'm going to call mine, I'll probably call it like web design or something. Yeah, let's go with web design. You could call yours whatever you want. And then just open it up, and this is the folder we'll be putting everything we do in this course. So, alright, and you should have installed text editor earlier. So if you want to just go ahead and open that up right now. I'm going to open mine. So this is Sublime Text right here. It's really simple interface, not complicated at all. But what you can do is go to File and Open, and open that folder that we just created on the desktop. So find it, there it is, and open it up. Okay, we're in the folder. So what we can do is we can go to New File, and let's create a new file. So first of all, before we actually write any code, let's just save this file since it's not saved yet. So I'm going to just save that, and I'll save it in that folder. So it's saved as Untitled, but this won't actually be able to be read by a website because to be an HTML file, we need to have an HTML file extension. So take your file and rename it to index.html. Now, index is what the home page of your site should be. If you've got a bunch of sites in a folder and you put them on a website, and the website's like, which one should I open? Basically, it's going to go to index.html first. Check if you have that, and if you do, that will be your home page. So the page you want to open first should be index.html. So let's just save that. And now you can see it kind of changed to a code icon right there from what it was. And now our text editor will actually recognize what we type as HTML. So let's get started with some HTML. So to start writing HTML, we need to, it's written in things called tags, and they look like this. So you'd have an opening bracket, and then you'd have the name of your tag, and then a closing bracket. Now, some tags are called self-terminating tags, and what that means is that you only need one of them. So an example of this would be like an image. If we had like an image, you don't need to like open and close an image. But if we had something like a link tag, like we talked about before, you would want an opening and a closing link tag, just like this. And then you would put what you want to be in the link in here, basically. But let's just delete this. And so the first thing you're going to need at the top of any web page is the HTML tag to tell it that this is HTML that we're going to be writing here. And then you're going to need a closing HTML tag at the bottom, just like that. And then what you can do is, let's create a tag called body. So body is the main, body is the main area of our website. So head is more of like the title. Let's throw some stuff in the head real quick. So let's create a head tag too. And we can put things in the head, so try this. Create a title tag, and what I want you to do is put in whatever you want your website that you've created to be named. So I'll name mine a brand new website. Boom. And let's take a look at this. So let's save it, and you can right click and actually just click on open in browser right here, and it will pop it right up. So boom, there it is right there, and it says a brand. Okay, let me open a new tab. You can see if we were looking at the tabs, it would show as a brand new website. That's what the title does. So it kind of titles our page. So the head is kind of stuff like that. Well, the stuff you put in the head will not show in this area. Just extra little things that are important too. But body is what shows in this area of the web page. So let's take a look at some heading tags. So real quick, if we want something that the browser doesn't recognize and it doesn't do anything with, we can write a HTML comment. So what it looks like is it looks like a opening alligator mouth, a exclamation point, and 2 lines like that. And then let me just pause for 1 second on this, and it doesn't look too easy to read right now. All the text is white, it's the same color. We can't really tell where one tag ends and one stops. Let me show you what I mean. So right now, if you look at the bottom of our text editor, it shows it's writing this in plain text. Now, that's not what we want. We're doing HTML, so you can click on that, find HTML, it's right here, and you can just click on that, And now you'll see it's changed quite a bit. You can see what is actually active, what's commented out. So I could write in here, this is a comment, and then I could end that comment tag, and that would be an HTML comment right there. So, whoops. So that's how I could comment something out. If I was like, hey, I don't want this text to show for a minute, let's just see what it looks like with off. I could just comment it out. Let's look at some heading tags real quick. So what a heading tag is it's not going to be something, let's pull up that one website real quick, right here. So here's an example of what a heading tag would be. And here's an example of what more of like paragraph text would be. So the heading is kind of like the main title or whatever for your site. So there are 6 headings, and each one is the biggest, and H6 is the smallest, sorry. And so let's just create some of those tags, and let's put in H1. This is a H1 tag. There you go. And let's put in this. This is a H6 tag. Okay, now save it. You need to save it every time before you see what it looks like in the browser. But you can go back to that browser and refresh it, and right off you can see what we've written up here. The H1 tag shows right here, it's big. H6 is small. Let's look at one more. There's a paragraph tag. A paragraph, and let's just put in this as a paragraph. Boom. Alright, and save that and view it, and you can see here's a typical just plain paragraph tag. So this should be a good start. In the next video we'll cover way more stuff. We'll get into a lot more advanced what you can actually do with this, because this obviously is not a good site by any means. But thank you for watching this video, and if this has helped you, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if it has helped you. Thank you.